Hello there fellow model makers, and welcome to the first part of my first attempt at making a diorama. While I may not have made a diorama, I have been binge watching diorama videos on YouTube, and I must say that there are some really informative videos by highly skilled builders out there. So after watching many videos, this is what I managed to put together. Please note, since this was more of a test case, I did not pay particular attention to historical accuracy. My only goal was to try as many techniques as I could. So trees and water and rocks and so on. I wanted to try my hand at all of them. The first stumbling block I came across was choosing what diorama to make. This problem was solved more by chance than by choice when I came across this set of 1/48 scale Tamiya kits. I found all three of them neatly stacked together at my local hobby shop and thought, well, why not? However, in the end, I did change the figure set from this rather aggressive stance to a more relaxed set of figures. But based on these three kits, some ideas were forming in my mind. I decided to start with this rather unusual 1/48 scale early Tiger. Next, I would build this motorcycle with the machine gunner in the sidecar. I had to build this. Anyone who, like me, has read Commando comics in his childhood would have a soft spot in their hearts for this. And lastly, some figures. Like I said before, I changed these figures to a set with more relaxed soldiers later. Right, let's take a look at the Tiger. There are a few options for the Tiger, like this one from Russia in 1943. But I will be going with the standard German grey that is on the box art. Now, here is something different. This kit has a Diecast chassis. It's made of metal and not plastic, and is rather heavy. Let's open the box. So we have 4 bags of plastic sprues and 1 bag with the metal chassis. Also a small decal sheet. The die-cast chassis is rather impressive. It's heavy and has some detailing on it already. As expected from Tamiya, the plastic parts are crisply cast with excellent detailing. The only thing missing is the grille for these engine covers. If Tamiya had to include one more part in this kit, it should be photo etch grille covers. The gun barrel is in 2 parts, so that will take some sanding to clean up. The tracks are a mix of individual links and some prefabricated lengths. Not my favorite. They are fiddly and sometimes difficult to line up. Interestingly, Tamiya has shaped the side of the sprue so that it can be used to give shape to the tracks while they dry. There are also some polycaps in here. So that would mean that the drive sprocket and possibly the return idler need not be glued in place. The instructions are pretty standard, with a brief piece about the tank and then some simple steps to put the kit together. There are 4 coloring options. The first one is desert yellow, the next in German grey, and the last 2 are multicolored camo options. I will be going with the German grey scheme from Russia, summer of 1943. Time to start off with the drive sprocket. I cut and clean the pieces. The poly cap goes inside and the pieces are glued together. One of the time-consuming tasks with making a Tiger tank is putting together the numerous road wheels. I cut and clean the wheels and then glue them together. I now start off on the main body of the tank. The front armor is cut and glued in place. Now the chassis is glued together. This requires some plastic pieces to be glued to the metal chassis tub. I use some super glue gel for this. Despite my slight apprehension about how strong the joints would be, they held together nicely. Next, I put together the exhaust. The pieces on the rear of the tank are now glued in place. I put together the air filters next. With multi-part assemblies like this, I prefer to glue in all the pieces in one go. In this case, the filters and the hoses. This helps me line up the parts before the glue sets in place. Time to glue in the hatches. The turret is put together next. I now sand away the seam line on the gun barrel. I start with a 180 grit sanding sponge and work my way up to a 1200 grit soft sanding stick. The commander's cupola and some remaining parts are now glued in place. Lastly, the side skirting. Well, that was relatively quick. The build is now complete. This is all the time we have for on this edition. Next time, we will prime and paint the tank, and also hopefully weather it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe. Till next time, have a great time and good luck with your scale modeling.